ultimately the purpose behind Anakin giving an apprentice was attachments, to see if Anakin could let go of someone that he cared very deeply about. So the Jedi knew that if you trained a Padawan, you would have to deal with them sometimes being afraid or angry and their emotions. And these are all important steps and things that a Jedi have to deal with. And Anakin would have to deal with, having a Padawan. So we see many stages of this throughout the entire series of the Clone Wars. And I remember about in season 5, I believe, there was this Wookiee episode where she helps rescue Chewbacca. Then you see Yoda watching them walk off, and they're walking off in some sort of a balanced way. Why, when you see Anakin, he's dealing with a lot with Ahsoka, because he couldn't really help her while she was trapped there, and not being able to do anything about it, he has to come up with a conclusion that the reason that she survived ultimately and helped Chewbacca was because of everything that she had learned from Anakin, what Anakin had taught her. But what the Jedi wanted to do was for Anakin to let go of some of his attachments. As you see what Yoda that's what they wanted him to do. But was this all accomplished, in the end with Anakin? Well, I don't think so, because we know how, Order 66 ultimately ended up where the Jedi lost. And when Ahsoka left the Jedi Order too soon, she never became a Jedi Knight. And, the Jedi don't know the depths of what, Anakin goes through for the people that he cares about, Obi-Wan, Padme, and Ahsoka. And when we see this episode, when Ahsoka left, we see what Barriss does isn't really wrong. It's just how she dealt with it. That is what's wrong. And with Ahsoka's experience, it lets us know that there's a certain truth to what Barriss is saying. But with what Ahsoka's learned, she can't really come to the agreement of what Barriss is saying. And the reason they had Barriss on the show was to really show how different her and how Illuminati differently trained Barriss, and how Anakin, comparing Anakin to Ahsoka, then Illuminati to Barriss, they really trained in different ways. But Barriss and Ahsoka dealt with different methods with what they perceived to be corruption between their own order and disappointment in the Clone Wars, when their leadership eventually got compromised. But it's a difficult thing to say, but at the end of the day, the Jedi failed, and that caused them to lose the war, and the Chancellor becomes victorious and becomes the Emperor.